show in the building with a good friend of mine, or a guy that I really just look up to be honest with you, Roland Martin. He has a brand new book. I'm going to talk about the brand new book called White Fear. A man obviously not scared of controversy. But before I even get into that, when you describe yourself, are you a commentator? Are you...
I'm a journalist.
Are you an entrepreneur? Are you a businessman? Because when I look at you, I know most people see you as a journalist.
Right.
I actually see you as a businessman, an entrepreneur, because everything that Unfiltered is your deal. It's not something that you're going through some company. It is yours.
No, it's going through a company. My company.
But you've never ever had fear.
No.
And every time you come around, I try to steal some of that from you, and it's hard. Because you got it so locked in, it's so precise, it's hard.
Well, we're conditioned to be employees, and black people especially, because that's all our parents have known. For me, my grandmother had a catering business, my grandfather had a business on the side, my mom had a cake business, and it wasn't like you have to own, but I saw it. I mean, and so what I do right now, I literally, even when I'm negotiating, when I'm packing out my Sprinter, when we are packing gear, everything that I learned in the catering business literally applies to it. Mm-hmm. So when you understand that, when you understand how ownership works, but then because you also understand control and flexibility and freedom and all those things go with it, then you understand that, you know what, I have this job, but I'm going to have it for a certain period of time, and I'm going to squeeze as much as I can out of it, in terms of knowledge, in terms of building brand, all sorts of different things, relationships with clients, and then I can transition over here. And so when I got the CNN job, the literal day we signed to my agent, I said, okay, now our job is to go get another opportunity that's paying the same or more. And then that's when Tom Jones Morning Show came. I said, all right, now we got to go get another opportunity that's paying the same or more. And so we renegotiated the TV One deal. I said, now we have to get another opportunity that's paying the same or more. So I said, so I'm going to have 4 different revenue streams. So if any one of them ends, I just pivot. And most people don't operate that way. They don't understand. And they think it never ends. I start that day knowing it's going to end.
Isn't that thinking negatively when you think the end?
No, because it's building. See, here's the mistake that people make. They have a job. It's a great job, paying them great. Then all of a sudden it ends. Then they start trying to think about, now what can I do? As opposed to...
Is he talking about me?
As opposed to you're building your stuff while you're there. Mm-hmm. So in essence, where you are working, they are your own venture capitalist. Mm. They are funding your next venture. It's the same thing. So when I was at TV One, I knew this show's not going to go on forever. I was purchasing equipment while I was at TV One. It's also tax deductible. So I had my own company. Mm-hmm. So when TV One ends the show in December 2017, I owned my own switcher, my own lights, my own cameras. I own my own stuff. So when we did a production, the State of the Black Union, a couple months later, I just had to go purchase some chairs and some other stuff for the production because I had the foundation of it. Mm-hmm. So I'm now not, scrambling. Now, where did that come from? Because every job that I had coming out of college, I said I got to own my own stuff. So I need to own my own laptop and my own camera and my own cell phone. So if this job ends, I'm now not out here trying to find an opportunity, but I got no tools. So if I'm depending upon the company for my tools, well, then I'm screwed because I can't build nothing with no tools. Mm. So I'm going to buy my own stuff. Most people kind of like, man, what you doing? I'm like, no, I don't need them. I don't need them. No, I got my own laptop. So when I leave, so if I leave, my stuff goes with me.
Facts.
And when my stuff goes with me, I can now set up shop somewhere else. Or I can walk in another opportunity. Like, no, I'm bringing my own stuff with me, and I don't need y'all to come buy a bunch of stuff.
You've been a big promoter of that since the first day I've ever met you. I don't even know if you've spoken. We had a conversation. It's like, hey, you got your own? You've always been promoting. I don't know if that's just something you do.
Yeah.
Or
because things are going to end. No, they just are.
And I appreciate
You're
that.
going to get frustrated. You're going to get mad. You might be depressed, and you may not be happy. But people go, yeah, but damn, I'm making all this money. But then you start, but you're not happy. Or they may say, look, ratings ain't this. You out.
Yeah.
I mean, the radio business, a format flips from a Friday to a Monday. They can go from an R&B station to a country station, and everybody gone. Yeah, so when you know that, you walk in understanding that it's finite. And so now my deal is I'm not going to get caught off guard. I'm going to always be moving and operating. And the other thing is most companies limit what you can do. So, I mean, I when I was at Yates, folks are like, hey, you should study this. I'm like, no, I'm doing television, radio, newspaper. And matter of fact, I had so many communications classes, they wouldn't let me take photography. Photography was not a part of school communication. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't let me take photography. Actually, I was pissed. No, seriously, because for me, I wanted to know all of the skill sets. Mm-hmm. So then when I get into college,
this is super driven of a young person, bro.
Oh, I saw
that is super driven. Like it's like how do you know that? How do you know where you're going? Like every step that you've always made, I'm like, this guy knows what step he's getting ready to take. Oh yeah, next.
But that's also most people are not students of their business. So meaning they don't actually study their business. So when I was in college, so we had at Texas A&M, this is when you had proliferation of magazines. So you had editor and publisher, which journalists, which writers and editors read. But then you had a magazine that was for publishers. Well, we would go in, they were all in our journalism library. Well, most of the students would not most of them, a few of them might pick up editor and publisher. Nobody picked up the publisher magazine. I did. Because my deal, I'm going to be a publisher one day, so I want to read what they're reading. Mm-hmm. So I'm reading about newsprint. I'm reading about the cost of newsprint. So the reporters over here, so when I'm at Fort Worth, reporters over here bitching about, news hole shrinks. Why the news hole shrinks? Well, if classified ad sales were down, if display ad sales were down, if the cost of newsprint went up, then, you're going to shrink news hole in fewer pages. So we would have this State of the Star telegram, and the publisher would lay what's happening with the business. Report, man, I'm not going to that. I was like, you're not understanding why the news hole is shrinking. That's why you need to go to this meeting. Mm-hmm. So I said, you're not students of your own business. And most people aren't students of their business. So they love the content piece. No, what's the business of your business?
Facts.
How much does this board cost? How much? Look, I told my team, y'all have got to properly wrap our cameras. They playing around. We were in Georgia. Something happened. Something was loose in one of the cameras. An audio arm wasn't working properly. I send to Canon. I get an email today. That's $1,700. Okay, I might as well buy a whole new camera. Now I'm pissed because they ain't paying the $1,700.
Yes, sir.
I'm paying the $1,700. And my whole deal is, didn't I tell your ass go get some goddamn bubble wrap and wrap the damn camera, because now you got to protect the camera.
Right.
And see, I'm like, y'all playing. And so then when I then say, if I open up a camera case from now on and I see something's not wrapped, you're fired. Because your laziness can cost me another $1,700, $2,000. I don't want to have to spend. I already bought the camera.
Well, you know what they're going to feel like? Well, you got it.
And guess what? You're not going to have it. And I will fire you.
I get you. I know you.
And then somebody can't tell me, well, because these things happen. Really? Because I have a Canon XA45 in my camera bag. My shit ain't broke. So can you explain? And I carry my bag wherever I go. So please explain to me how my camera hasn't broken, but this is the second one that has broken.
You don't play.
But that's the business side.
But you understand. Yeah.
Absolutely.
No doubt. The other thing I love about you, too, is you seem, I don't think you try to create controversy, but you say what you mean and you mean what you say.
And most people can't.
And you're not afraid
most people can't
of whatever comes with that. Why? And is that something that you got from some family member?
No.
Or you grew up, your mama was like that, your daddy was like that, or what?
I mean, look, I grew up in a family where they would have these serious conversations. And the thing is, they didn't exclude kids. See, we didn't have a family where, okay, y'all go to the back, No, you can be right there. You can get in this conversation. Now let's be real clear. If you hop your ass in this conversation,
right.
We ain't you don't get I'm a kid. That doesn't enter. Like, you know what's happening? Oh, you shouldn't do that. That's just a kid. No. When you step your ass into this grown folk conversation, you better know how to hold your own.
Yes, sir.
Or you will get obliterated.
Yes, sir.
And that's exactly what happened. So if you gonna my grandparents and it wasn't like, hey, youngin', you can't say nothing. No, you can say something. Now we might light your ass up if you're stupid, but if you chose to, if you big and bad enough to step into this conversation, it happens all the time. I go somewhere, somebody, you got this cat that's sitting on the couch. They thinking, oh, I can debate him. You don't want to do that because again, it's the same thing as you got some dude in the gym who, oh yeah, I'm gonna challenge Steph. You don't want to do that. Or they think, oh man, that bum, he played in the NBA, but he rarely got in games. You don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That was Yahoo did a story on that, and it was some guy. I forgot his name. He played like 11 years. It was like white guy played 11 years, and these dudes be challenging the gym. And he's like not 47. He was like, they don't understand.
It was an NBA.
And he said, they don't,
I can't remember who it is. I saw this.
He said, what they don't understand is, he said, and then when they lose 15-2, 15-1, he said, here's what they don't realize. He said, there's a gear that we have. We can be sitting here chilling, but we can go to it. There's another gear that they don't realize. He said, and when that gear kicks in, which is also a competitive gear, he was like, no. And typically it's on defense. He said, they can't handle NBA defense. He said, when we get in your face and hand checking and whatever, because you're dealing with a professional. Mm. They're at the pinnacle. You can say, man, you a scrub. Now, that person who's on number 15 on that bench is in the 0.25% of the elite in the world.
Yes, sir.
You think your ass at the gym.
Was there anyone that you ever asked the question, was there ever someone that competed with you on that level that, it was a little bit of a verbal tussle, if you will? Like, okay.
Oh, no. That's nobody I'm scared of. There's nobody. No. That's
I'm not saying that you were scared.
No, that's nobody.
They were going with your. They was making you. You had to go to the archives.
Oh no. You got to
go to the archives and pull out some book knowledge on a couple of them. Maybe.
Well, you always got to do that. I say. You always know when you're stepping into arena and you're debating. And it's like, yo, you got to bring it. I'll tell you. I say this all the time. She's an atheist, but she's a religious expert, which I still think is funny.
Religious atheist.
Essie Cup. She's conservative. She's on CNN. Me and Essie always get it. But see, here's why I love debating Essie. One, because she's smart. Two, she doesn't make dumb mistakes like most conservatives make. So
what's that dumb mistake?
Easy. Man, you can easily they're going to say something and then you can lock in on that sucker and just twist that knife because they're going to be so hardened about it. Mm-hmm. So when you're debating somebody who is gifted and also who understands, who has knowledge, but then who can also be funny and who can also shift, who have dexterity with it, then you got to be like locked and loaded because you can't just anticipate every single move.
So it's a good dance with this person.
Yeah, that's because again, a person challenged because you got to be completely paying attention and focus. Other people, you're like, man, I could be halfway listening and obliterate them because I destroyed Glenn Beck, just destroyed him, and he was like, yo, I will never go on with him again.
Really?
Oh hell yeah! He was like, now CNN was like, yo, that was fire. He was like, never, it ain't happening again. But it was like I destroyed him twice, but it was easy. And so the thing is, when you've been trained, so that's why when cats, and cats be like, one debate, and I'm like, yeah, okay, all right. Like I was in Atlanta, and I'm sitting here getting something to drink, and this dude, he starts talking about Astros and Phillies, and I was like, yeah, okay. And I'm joking, whatever. So then he said something, I was like, well, what? And then so he tries to drop something historical, and guess what happened?
You hit him.
That gear kicked in because he wanted.
They don't understand how well read you are.
Oh no, and he wanted to debate, And I was literally like, yeah, all right, dude, just go ahead and give me this drink. Let me go back to the room. But he kept going. That gear kicked in. And when that gear kicks in, I'm pounding your ass. I'm hitting you with 4 or 5. And you're like, whoa, hold up. No. See, again, you can't handle that speed. It's the same thing. You can't handle that speed. And so I'm firing back at you, and you got like 1. I'm hitting you with 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, you can't even catch your breath. I said, that's what happens when you try to debate a professional. It's no different than a ball play. That's why I'm like, you sit at home. You at the bar. You debate people at the bar.
This is your life. You live this.
This is what I do.
Yes, sir.
You don't
Absolutely.
want this.
What do you think, before I talk about this book, because I know we tied on time, what do you think about this whole political place we're at? Because I heard some people, they blame Trump for everywhere that we are right now in politics.
No.
And where we are in America and all this.
It's not. It didn't start with him. So the problem is he saw the moment, which is really what my book is about, Watch Fear, and begin to press those buttons, and then they gravitated towards him because he verbalized what they've always wanted to say.
Simple. And
he didn't have it. So for him, there was no base. I knew when he attacked Senator John McCain being a POW, and the Republicans let him, I was like, oh, y'all can hang this shit up. Because white Republicans, look, POWs, oh my God. It is like you're occupying a certain space in America. When they were cool with that, there were no guardrails. Mm-hmm. And so you understand that. So that's why I keep trying to, that's why Hillary Clinton made the mistake and Joe Biden made the mistake thinking that, when he's off the radar, we go back to normal. I'm like, no, you don't understand. There is no going back to normal. Yeah. This is the normal. Okay? They are who they are. What he did was pull the covers back and let them, I can say whatever I want to say.
Yes.
I mean, this white teacher in Austin, Texas, who just got fired, who says to some group of minority kids,
I just saw that.
My race is superior.
I saw that. That was crazy, teaching your kid.
The reality is, pre-Trump, he's not saying that in the classroom. Because what happens is, I don't know, something we can't say. Trump says stuff, and so the rest of these fools thought,
I can say it.
We can do that.
Yeah.
Yo is about to get fired. That's why I had a segment called Crazy. There's white people on the show. And it was the white folks who get mad at somebody black calling the cops when they barbecue in the park or selling lemonade. And it was like, so you're just emboldened to check the brother delivering packages for FedEx to see if he actually works for FedEx. Mm-hmm. And so they were operating that way. And so for him, he allowed, and so it was normal, and these fools fell into it. That's why every time one of them fools lost their job, I said, look, I need to have somebody black apply for their job. I said, we can end black unemployment every time a white person acts a fool and lose their job. And so, and I would say that. And so for him, and so what you now see, he now unleashes this thing, and now they're grievances. Everything is grievance. Oh my God, we're losing our country. We're losing our way. Now they're pissed off at all young voters. I mean, Fox News is apoplectic. They're going now. They talking about proposing raising the voting age. Because
what? I didn't hear that
because
one.
they cannot handle the fact that you were rejected.
Oh, because the red wave that didn't happen during
your
the
extremism was rejected, and so the whole point. I've been dealing with this issue of white fear for the last 13 years, and what started was a poll that was taken. The question was asked: are you optimistic about the future of America economically for your children? And every group except white Americans, the majority said yes. Then in September 2016, the question was asked: are you optimistic about the future of America economically for the next 10 years? Black people, lowest wealth, highest optimism. Latino, second lowest wealth, second highest optimism. White people, by far highest wealth, lowest optimism. So you like, hold up, how y'all got more money than everybody else, but you ain't optimistic? Because they can't handle the fact that the browning of America means they now do not control everything. They now have to share power, have to share resources. So the whole thing, the Great Replacement theory, the anger with immigration.
Is it that old? They might do to us.
That's what we did to them. Absolutely, that's a part of it. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
And so, but it's also it's like we have defined American values through whiteness. We have defined what it means to be an American through whiteness. We've defined it. We don't have to sit here and now. Oh well, hold up, y'all not get an opinion? Yes, we do.
Wow.
And that's what's driving this, and you're seeing it. New York Times did an article about Fort Bend County, and how these white folks in Fort Bend County were like, we should build a wall between Fort Bend County and Harris County. We don't want those problems. We don't want those people coming here. Well, guess what? They're angry because it used to be a 70% white county. It's now a 30% white county. And they don't like the fact. And so now, what are the complaints? Oh, my God. All the stuff that we've always heard that white people yelled about when we don't want them in our neighborhood. Crime is going to increase and we're going to have drug dealing. I mean, every scary thing, they've always done that. So now they're sitting here angry. Well, we used to be able to do this. We used to be able to leave our doors unlocked. We used to be all this sort of stuff like this, all those racial tropes. And what they're really saying is we wish we can go back to the times when this thing was all white. So Make America Great Again is all about, and if you a survey was done and the question was asked, okay, when y'all say what was the period of America you would like to go back to, the poll was done and they literally said, the 1950s. Now again, for white people, the 50s were amazing.
He said amazing.
It was.
It's true.
It was amazing for white people.
Yes.
But they never think about, well, what the hell was it like when you were black? Or you were Latino? Oh, hell no. See, and again, so they are only thinking about their whiteness. And they're looking at us like, well, I don't understand why, the 50s were great. Ozzie and Harriet, Jim Crow, lynchings, dogs being sick, us not being able to vote, and we couldn't work anywhere. Other than that, I guess they were great. And so that's part of the deal. That's what they are pining for. And it's like, that wasn't good for us. And so then they're looking at us like, well, what's wrong with y'all? It wasn't good for us. White only signs, Negro on. And again, they're not even contemplating that.
Yes, sir.
And that's where that white fear, they want a return to that America.
How angry are they going to be about this book?
Well, I think that they'll be angry because it's a mirror.
Ooh.
And so they'll be angry because what it's doing is it's saying, look, you need to confront what is a reality. What we've always done in this country, we want to make it nice for white people. We make it comfortable. We don't want to make it too, because they can't handle that much stress. That's why the anger with the 1619 Project, the critical race theory, they don't like multiculturalism, diversity. They don't like inclusion. They don't like affirmative action, all that sort of stuff, because they don't want to have to confront the reality that they've frozen people out of the process. And so when you start talking about America, see, again, they've been raised, white Americans have largely been raised, America's amazing. It's the greatest country in the world. God has blessed us like no other, and we are awesome. Yeah, can we leave out all the other stuff that we did? And they'll say, yeah, I know we had slavery, but that's really what they do. But they don't want to realize it goes a little bit beyond just slavery and not wanting to confront the reality of our history. And so I talk a lot about history. I talk about how in American history, every period of black success has always been followed by white backlash. Always. There's no period where it wasn't, because of the anger and the belief that, oh my God. So even now, an increasing number of white Americans are opposing government programs because they think, they are benefiting and we're losing. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's more white people in America than black people. So if their welfare benefits, white people are benefiting the most. If that, you could go down the line, it's more of them. And the reality of what you also understand, when you see black people fighting for civil rights, the quality of life of poor white people increased because they broke. White broke and black broke is broke.
Broke is broke.
It's broke is broke. And so you have white people who are broke voting against their economic interests because they're voting on tribalism and they're voting on white fear without realizing you do know rich white people do not care about your broke ass because you're broke.
I wish that people could hear actually the words that you're saying, but I don't think that it will be heard.
No, it'll be heard. See, the thing is, the mistake that we make. I spoke at Fountain of Praise. It was a men's deal, and a brother, he was like, "Man, this place should have been packed." I said, "Dude, I don't worry about empty chairs. I only speak to the people who are sitting in chairs." And then if the people who are sitting in the chairs get it, and then they take the message and then go talk to other people, then the message spreads. See, if I got one person, and I've had people tweet me and they post on Audible, other place, like, yo, I didn't even think about any of this. That was a job, and these are not black people, and that's the whole point. What I say in the book, white people need to be talking to white people, confronting their own issues. Black people need to be preparing ourselves for the day when we actually are a nation that's majority people of color. We should be preparing for that day, boning up when it comes to education, when it comes to collective economics, being prepared for 2043 when we become a nation that's majority people of color. Now we are in position to take advantage of it. I'm like, what we can't do is sit here and stay in the present position, and then when 2043 comes, goes, okay, flip a light switch. No. It's the work you got to put in.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And so the challenge is to force people how they must confront their own issues and realize that you have to deal with your stuff, and then in order to make this transition for a better country.
White Fear: How the Browning of America is Making White Folks Lose Their Minds.
And the reason I chose that art on the covers from January 6th.
I saw that cover. I don't want to say that it's a perfect cover, but it's a scary cover.
What the white guy is doing is going, all of this is ours. His arms are outstretched saying, all of this is ours. And that literally is the mentality of a lot of white Americans, and that's what January 6th was all about. So that's why I said, no, that picture completely encapsulates.
It explains what that day was about, everything.
That day,
where we are, everything.
And explains the concept.
Yep. Roland Martin, this guy I truly admire on so many different levels that y'all don't even understand. But the book is out now. They can get it everywhere.
Everywhere, bookstores, Audible, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, different places, Target, Books A Million, all of them.
He everywhere. Thank you so much, man.
There you go.
I know that your time is crazy, so I even appreciate you taking the time to do this. But y'all go get the book. My partner, Roland Martin.